don't know. I wish number 7 had never been invented," said Tineboy. "Croak," said Mr. Daw. The day was very hot, and Tineboy was very sleepy. He thought that perhaps he would be able to do the sum better if he rested a little while, just to think, and so he put his head down on the table. He was not quite comfortable, for his forehead was on the 7, at least he thought it was, so he shifted it till it hung right down over the edge of the desk. Then, after a while, somehow, very queer things began to happen. The teacher was just going to tell them a story. The scholars had all settled themselves down to listen. The raven sat on the sill of the open window, put his head on one side, closed one eye, the eye nearest the schoolroom, so that they might think him asleep, and listened away harder than any of them. The pupils were all happy, all except 3, one because his leg went to sleep, another because she had her pocket full of curds and wanted to eat them, and couldn't without being found out, and the curds were melting away, and the 3rd, who was awfully sleepy and awfully anxious to hear the story, and couldn't do either because of the other. The schoolmaster then began his story. How poor 7 went mad.
"The alphabet, Doctor?"
Here he was interrupted by Tineboy, who said, "What is an alphabet, Doctor?"
"An alphabet doctor," said the schoolmaster, "is the doctor who attends to the sicknesses and diseases of the letters of the alphabet."
"How have alphabets diseases and sicknesses?" asked Tineboy.
"Oh, they have plenty. Do you never make a crooked O, or a capital A with a lame leg, or a T that is not straight in its back?"
There was a chorus from all the class. He does often." Ruffin, the biggest boy, said after all the others, "Very often. In fact, always."
"Very well. Then there must be someone to put them straight again, must there not?"
None of the children could say that there was not. Tineboy alone was heard to mutter to himself, "I don't believe it." The schoolmaster began again.
"The alphabet doctor was sitting down to his tea. He was very tired, for he had been out attending cases all day."
Tineboy again interrupted. "What cases?"
"I can tell you. He had to put in an I which had been omitted, and to alter the leg of an R which had been twisted into a B. Well, just as he was beginning his tea, a hurried knock came to the door. He went to the door, opened it, and a groom rushed into the room, breathless with running, and said, "Oh, Doctor, do come quick. There is a frightful calamity down at our place." "What is our place?" said the doctor.
"Oh, you know, the number stables." "What are the number stables?" said Tineboy, again interrupting.
"The number stables," said the teacher, "are the stables where the numbers are kept."
"Why are they kept in stables?" said Tineboy.
"Because they go so fast."
"How do they go fast?"
"You take a sum and work it, and you will see at once. Or look at your multiplication table. It starts with twice 1 or 2, and before you get down the page you are at 12 times 12. Is that not fast going? Well, they have to keep the numbers in stables, or else they would run away altogether and never be heard of again. At the end of the day they all come home and change their shoes, and get tied up, and have their supper."
The groom from the number stables was very impatient.
"What is wrong?" said the doctor.
"Oh, poor 7, sir."
"What of him?"
"He is mortal bad. We don't think he'll ever get through it."
"Through what?" said the doctor.
"Come and see," said the groom.
The doctor hurried away, taking the lantern with him, for the night was dark, and soon got to the stables. As he got close, there was a very curious sound heard, a sound of gasping and choking and yelling and coughing and laughing, and a wild, unearthly screech all in one.
"Oh, do come quick," said the groom.
When the doctor entered the stables, there was poor number 7, with all the neighbours round him, and he was in a very bad way. He was foaming at the mouth and apparently quite mad. The nurse from the grammar village was holding him by the hand, trying to bleed him. All the